Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Today we are back once again on the Update New Power dev server, and it's time to have a look at the PTZ89. This is a new tank destroyer that is coming to the Chinese tree in Update's New Power, and as you can see, it has quite an impressive armament. It also sits at 8.7 rank 6. It is going to be after the CM25, so I suppose get your grinding gear on for that wonderful CM25, and it does join a pretty impressive lineup. The ZTZ89D1, the M60A3 TTS, both very fun vehicles. On top of that as well, you get access to the J2 and then also the F86 F30. So overall, a nice lineup for the PTZ89 to drop into. This machine has 120mm gun. It also is two-plane stabilized. Not sure about that one, but you know, it is. So two-plane stabilized. It doesn't have a ton of gun depression, only 5 degrees, 18 degrees gun elevation, which is a bit of a worry. And it does also have a 4-man crew. We've got a driver, we've got a commander, and then we've also got a gunner and a loader. But don't be fooled, even though this thing has a loader, it also has a autoloader. So it has a first stage ammo stowage of 18 pieces when it comes to the vehicle. And if you go to the crew and go to the tank loader, you can see that it stays at 5 seconds. So this thing is an autoloader. I'm guessing this loader is just designed to load the autoloader, but 18 pieces of ammunition should be enough for any game. So you should be completely fine just taking that. Then alongside all of these, when you look at the optics, it's 3.5 to 7, so not the best, but then again, this does have APF-SDS, so it shouldn't be too bad. The muzzle velocity is very high on it. Then it also has a 520 horsepower engine, which pulls this 31-ton beast around at a decent click. The other thing is the armor. The armor is rough on it. So lower glacis, you have 35mm of armor, then 50mm on top. The upper glacis is only 10mm. So enjoy getting strafed by planes, and 5mm here on the grill where the engine is. So this thing can literally get killed by 7.92s. Then you've got 22mm on the front here of armor, and then on the sides 18, on the whole 15, and then of course on the back 18 and 10. So yeah, this thing is going to get absolutely eaten by anything that decides to shoot at it, so you've got to make sure that you shoot first. The fact is, it should also get hull break as well with these armor values. We'll have to see if that's the case when it comes to the actual server, and when we look at the modifications, this is where it gets interesting. So the PTZ89 doesn't have an upgraded round, so the round that you get at the start, the APF-SDS, is the round that you'll use the whole time. The APF-SDS, the DYW1, has 1740 meters per second and pretty impressive stats for an 8.7, 443, 374, 256, respectively. That will go straight through pretty much anything that you're going to fight at this tier. It also gets a donk shell if you feel like it, a little bit of high explosive, never hurt anybody. Doesn't get access to thermals, only has access to MVDs, but does get a laser rangefinder, meaning that this thing is going to be a really fun sniping tank, especially with that stabilizer. Pop out, shoot, pop back, keep doing that over and over again, and have a pretty fun time. The only real limiting factor is going to be that gun depression on it, unfortunately. The other thing is the skins. Generally, when it comes to the PTZ89 and all of the Chinese vehicles, they have some pretty nice skins. The green, yellow, black one is one of my favorites. Then the tricolor, of course, the basic desert, another tricolor, and also the winter camouflage. I really like the contrast on this new engine of these skins, so I'm very happy to see them. One thing to also mention is a lot of people have asked about the performance of the Dagor Engine 6. I haven't seen any frame drops for me. I haven't seen any issues when it generally comes to the new engine. I don't know whether that's just something for me or if that's something that is across the board, but I've had no problems at all with this dev server when it comes to the performance of the machine. So I'm very, very happy to report that. Hopefully that is the same across the board for everybody else. We'll see what happens when it hits live, because that's when the true stuff comes out. So this machine is quite big, it's meaty, it does have a machine gun on the top of it for a little bit of anti-air support, and the turret rotation is rough. So the way that I see this vehicle working is you basically sit in an area, you wait for somebody to come up to you, and if they walk past a certain corner, kabam, you blow them up. Or, you know, you wait on a corner backed up, and then you pop out, bang, and then pop back in, and just keep doing that over and over and over again. Basically a true sniper tank, and with access to a stabilizer basically means that you can do it really easily. The round having such a high muzzle velocity makes it so it's incredibly accurate to use as well. You can pretty much pinpoint any vehicle wherever you want to shoot it, and the stabilizer doesn't seem to be affected by the speed at all. We're going nearly 40 kilometers an hour and this thing just doesn't care. You can see that we're just straight gun barreling, and it's going to be an incredibly accurate gun with the APF-SDS, and with a 5-second reload, that is going to be awesome. The fact at the end of the day is a 5-second reload. If you are holding somewhere and you can just bam, and then 5 seconds is up, you know, you can hit the next target and then the next target, and it means if you scuff up a shot, you are going to out reload the majority of vehicles that you fight. At this BR of 8.7, normally around 7 or 8 seconds reloading, sometimes 6, is seen as standard. So something with a 5-second reload will be able to out reload pretty much all of those things, which means that you will be able to get the second shot off if somebody shoots, or if you're able to, you know, push an area, you will be able to do whatever you want. The only thing that would make this thing a bit more better is some more armor. This really is a glass cannon. It reminds me of a slightly lower Striker in a way, where the Striker has absolutely no armor either. This thing is basically the same, and that means that you are going to fall prey many times to aircraft where you have a really strong 10 minutes or really strong 5 minutes at the start of the battle. Then if somebody decides that they're going to come in a plane, well, guess what? You're going to be absolutely screwed. And that is a problem that a lot of these tank destroyers have. It's a problem that the Su-100P has. It's a problem that stuff such as the Object 120 has. Any vehicle which has quite a large gun on it but absolutely no armor is going to fall prey to this. At least it does have armor all around, so it makes it a little bit harder for machines to kill you. But think about this. One of the vehicles which is very prominent around 8.7, along with a very, very good lineup, is the Leopard A1A1, and also the Radcamp at 9.0, and the new Leopard 1A5. You know what that lineup also has? Nords. And that basically means that you're going to be left in a situation where the Nords are just going to tear you apart. And another thing to also mention is stuff like the SK60B coming in. That's also going to have access to AGMs, so you're going to have to watch out for Sweden as well now. Then you're also going to have to watch out for other nations with their AGMs as well, or even just rockets or guns. Whatever happens, you are going to get absolutely nailed in this thing. So don't expect a long life, but expect a prosperous one. Expect a very high octane first 5 to 10 minutes of a match, and you know what the best thing is? After you have that really good start to the match, the really good boost to the match, guess what you get to spawn in after? The ZTZ89D1 and also the M60. Two tanks which, even though they're both mediums, have very, very different playstyles, and also can command the battlefield when they want to because of their thermals, stabilizers, and also APF-SDS. Overall, this lineup just got a lot more tasty when it comes to the Chinese. And I really hope that this is a sign to come for the Chinese, because they still don't have a rank 7, they still don't have anything over 9.7, so even though this is lovely to see, even though this will become part of an already stellar lineup, it would be nice to get a little bit more for some of the other areas, such as the 9.3, 9.7, 10.0, 10.7, 10.3. I want a reason to run that new Q5 AB with a ground lineup, and unfortunately the PTZ is not that. But it's still going to be very fun, still going to have a great time in it, and hopefully you do too. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. I'd just like to thank Trigger Hippie, Universe, Conte Baraka, eLoveGoat, Eugens Terry, Ambrosius McClellan, Daniel Stanton, Martinez, B. Young, Hans, and Samuel Slick for supporting the channel.